We're going to start with the heavy crude oil. This is a very heavy and thick crude oil. We're going to pour it on the surface. This is a clean, sticky surface. The next thing I'm doing is I'm pouring the absorbent right on top of it. You don't need to put much, just enough to cover it, about 1/8 thick of absorbent. What I'm doing now is I'm brushing. You don't necessarily need to do this, but for demonstration purposes, I'm trying to accelerate the absorption process. What it is doing right now is it is converting the composition of the oil into carbon dioxide and water. As you can see, there's some lumps created by the thick oil, and I'm just trying to aerate it while it is converting it. It's actually drying it. As you can see, within a short period of time, the oil is gone. This product actually absorbs 6 times its weight. If you're trying to absorb 70 pounds of oil, the bag in itself, which is 11 pounds, can absorb the entire 70 pounds of oil, and when it's said and done and it's dry, the only thing you're going to be picking up is the dry 11 pounds of absorbent. As you can see, the surface is dry, my hand is dry, and the product in itself is loose and fluffy, as if it did not absorb anything. Next thing I'm doing is I'm going to pour gasoline on the concrete floor just to simulate a gasoline leak. This product actually stops the flammability of gasoline. Not just regular gasoline, even jet fuel, kerosene, or diesel fuel. I created 2 separate spots and I poured absorbent on it. I lit up one of the pile just to show you how flammable the gasoline is. After about 15 minutes, you would see that I'm going to try to ignite the other pile, which has the same amount of gasoline. As you can see, it's non-flammable anymore because the product actually converted the gasoline's composition into water. Next thing I'm doing is I'm pouring water in a container, and then I will add the heavy, thick crude oil on it. It's very, very thick and heavy. And then I'm going to add gasoline into the mixture. I call it a toxic cocktail. I'm going to stir it up to mix it, but you know, gasoline mixes with water, but oil does not mix with water. But if you come close to this mixture, it's very, very toxic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to filter this cocktail of crude oil, water, and gasoline through a canister with the absorbent in it being used as the filter. What it is doing right now is it actually filtering and getting rid of the oil and the gasoline composition, and the end result is pure, clean water. Some crazy people even try to drink it, but it's not going to kill them anyway. The water that comes out of it is pure water with no gasoline or oil composition in it, just pure water. It's a little shady, and that's from the actual absorbent itself. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to try to ignite the leftover cocktail and the end result of the filtration. Two separate canister, and to show you the flammability of the original composition as opposed to the end result. As you can see, it is very flammable, but the water that actually came out of it is non-flammable. What I'm doing now is I am simulating an oil leak or an oil spill in the ocean. I just spilled the same heavy crude oil on a basin of water. As you can see, it stays afloat, and you can see how thick it is. What I'm doing is that I'm pouring the absorbent on top of it. This product, this absorbent, is hydrophobic, which means it does not sink in the water, it floats. So what it is doing right now is it is converting the oil as if it is on the surface while it is on the water. It has converted it is in the process of converting it into water and carbon dioxide. And what I'm doing is I'm using a filter. It's not really a filter, but just to show you how easy it is to remove the oil from water. And there will be no trace of oil in the water. And once you pick up the absorbent itself, it will continue to work, and later on there'll be no oil on it. The next thing I'm doing is I'm going to simulate being a mechanic using this very heavy axle grease. This is a very thick axle grease. I'm spreading it on my hands, both hands, and instead of what mechanics do to clean their hands by using toxic detergent or chemicals, I'm just going to use the absorbent to clean my hands. It doesn't take very long. What it is doing is it is removing the heavy grease from my hand, and the tub itself